And the second dish is, if you're making a breakfast maker, I guess you gotta make something in eggs. Like, it just seems like it's an absolute requirement to have some sort of egg dish in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it pretty fancy. I'm going to take this bell pepper here. I'm gonna cut it into little rings so I can set my rings inside of my breakfast maker, and then I'm gonna crack the eggs inside of the rings so they kind of cook inside the rings themselves. And it just kind of looks really pretty. So we're gonna take bell pepper, we're gonna chop the top off, like so. And then we just wanna get the seed base out. So you just kind of come around with a knife, and it's just gonna pop right out like that. So I got my bell pepper, and it's kind of hollowed out. And then I can just come in here and I can pull out any of the extra, whatever the white stuff is called. Anyone know what the white stuff's called? Because I actually don't know.
Membranes.
Membranes, yeah, that's right. So there we go. All right, so I've got my hollowed out, and I'm just gonna cut these. They're probably about, you know, 1/2 inch thick. 1, 2, and 3. All right, perfect. So then I just have this. So you can see it like that, and I'm gonna take them, and I'm gonna lay them right inside the breakfast maker. And the cool thing is when they sit in here, they're gonna kind of just, you know, they're not gonna be like perfectly liquid tight on the bottom, obviously. Some liquid might get out. But for the most part, the egg is gonna stay inside of the pepper. So it just kind of looks really cool when it's done. So now I've got that. Now we wanna season this, okay? And we're gonna do more than just salt, because that's kind of boring in the grand scheme of things. I've been playing with all sorts of different spices and whatnot recently, and there is something called, and it's French, so I'm gonna butcher it. It's Herbs de Provence blend. Did I get close?
Herbe de Provence.
Yeah, what Carol said.
Herbe de Provence.
Right. So this is a seasoning blend. You can find it at the stores, but it was huge in the 70s. All right, and all it is it's savory, thyme, rosemary, basil, tarragon, and lavender flowers. It's those 6 items. That's what's in that blend. And so I was kind of playing with it, just to kind of take a small alter of it. And I came up with my own blend, which I think is super tasty. And it's based,
Richard.
yeah, exactly. And it's based on this. And these are all equal parts, okay? So you can do it tablespoons, teaspoons. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? I'm gonna do it just with a 1/4 teaspoon, because I don't need a ton of it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some thyme. So I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme, a 1/4 teaspoon of rosemary, 1/4 teaspoon of basil, 1/4 teaspoon, this one's kind of weird, but it tastes good, onion powder, and then salt. Because, well, you should have salt on everything. And then I'm just gonna mix that up to just kind of create a blend out of it, right? So it's just those items. So I've just, you know, in my snack cup, I just make myself my little blend. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of, you know, take pinches of it, and pinch it over the top. So I've got a nice flavor profile. All right, and there we go. All right, so I got my eggs, I've got it in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my cover on. I always do it wrong for some reason. And I'm gonna pop this in for 2.5 minutes, and they're gonna be done. All right, so we popped it in. I was listening to it. I pulled it out actually at 2 minutes. So I put it in originally for 2:30. I pulled it out at 2. I like my eggs a little softer, so they're still a little over easy-ish. you could leave it in longer if you wanted to. If you wanted to make them more, just like a true hard boiled. I don't know. I eat my eggs normally sunny side up, where they're like really runny. So you could have even gotten shorter time period than that. I'm just gonna pop this out. Connor's gonna be my guinea pig, and he's gonna taste this. And the important thing is this: like, if you learn nothing else from cooking, you need to season stuff. Like, don't be afraid of salt.